Happy Friday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. Guys, shout out to OG's Brands, the official sponsor of Flavoring Fridays. Head on over to ogsbrands.com to see their full lineup, including their two newest gummies, the OG's Naturals and the Big OGs, and find out where you can purchase. I am Anthony Totri. We got DJ Danielle back behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. Guys, do us a solid. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you're new here, a new listener, do us one favor and leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you like about this podcast. We have a fun show for everybody today. It's obviously Friday, so we're going to be doing my favorite segment. We're going to be getting into Hot or Not at the tail end of today's show. But the meat and potatoes of the PHNX Sun Devils show today is going to be a healthy dose of college basketball, talking about Arizona State, what transpired the other evening against Washington in overtime, and then also maybe we'll just take a poke. We'll just take a little poke at the Arizona Wildcats because we know what happened to the team down south when they had the opportunity to take on Washington State. Guys, we appreciate everybody. Let us know in the comments. Again, what's on your mind? It's Friday. We got a lot to get into. So let's go ahead, starting with Arizona State basketball. The best way to describe it, that right there. Just a big sigh. Not a sigh of, oh, it was close. Because you're going to look at the score. If you look at the score of Arizona State's loss to Washington, you're like, that was a hell of a game. It went to overtime. The Sun Devils, they fought their hearts out. In reality, it was a case of too little, too late. Team showed up, didn't look good at all. And not only did Arizona State not look good against Washington, it looked like the team didn't want to be there. It looked like they'd rather be somewhere else. The lack of effort for me specifically in Arizona State's loss to Washington was in reality the worst part of, honestly, it was probably the worst part of the season. It was really the worst part of the season. Like, it really is tough to put into words seeing a college basketball team show up in a first half and play the way they did. Now, the bright spot, right? I know there's going to be people that are saying, oh, they lost. There isn't a bright spot. Well, the bright spot to Arizona State's loss to Washington was the fact that guard Frankie Collins broke the Arizona State single-season steal record, and he did it with still several games left, so that record is going to continue to inch further. But Frankie Collins, I don't want to say he shattered it, but he has broke Fat Lever's record of 76 steals, had 77 total thus far, so we'll see where he can take that through the next few games. Would anticipate that probably getting into the mid to high 80s by the time the season is all over. So you could definitely pat yourself on the back if you're an Arizona State fan and be like, you know what? I was there. I was there when Frankie Collins set the single season steal record. But other than that, it really was a piss poor performance from Arizona State last night. And I don't want to say it comes at an interesting time, but it comes at a time when ASU fans and Sun Devil Nation are already kind of itching for a change of scenery when it comes to the coaching situation. But it wasn't, it's tough because I think you can put a little bit of it on Bobby, right, and the coaches. But at a certain point, the effort part of it, you've got to hold the players accountable. You absolutely have to hold the players accountable for what they did. And Bobby Hurley, he spoke about it post-game, just about the effort. And really, he tried to sum up his frustration with everything going on with the Arizona State basketball program. This is what Bobby Hurley had to say post-game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was more when we went to the second unit, they came out and they were scrappy, and we started getting stops. And then the crowd appreciated that they were noticeably playing harder than the group that was in there before. And that's what they were looking for. Like, our crowd is not that demanding. They ask for you to give maximum effort. And if they see you giving maximum effort, then they're not going to have a problem with you. You know, and I think they noticed that second unit was out there fighting and battling, and that was really the difference. I mean, the shots going in, sure. I mean, that's always naturally gonna, encourage someone, boost someone's confidence, have them play harder. But it was more of, we were just too casual out there, lackadaisical. There was no urgency for 23 minutes, and it cost us.
I want to scream. I want to scream into a pillow and just like let it all out, let out the frustration. And I wasn't even in attendance for that game last night. So if you were a fan, like JJB in the chat saying he was there and he did buy tickets, like, there has to be a sense of pride in what you do, whether it is basketball, whether it is football, whether it is baseball, whether it is hosting a podcast, whether it is producing a podcast. There has to be a certain standard that you hold yourself to if you want to be good at what you do. And for the Arizona State Sun Devils to come out in a time where everybody and their mom is talking about how this program is going to move to the Big 12 and they're in for an ass kicking, to show up and at a certain point be down by 25 points at home to a Washington team that in reality isn't all that good, tells me that this team has given up. I don't care that they only lost by 2 in overtime. I really don't. It's great that the single season steal record was broken. That is a massive, massive achievement for Frankie Collins. But other than that, the lack of effort is embarrassing. That is the best way to put Arizona State basketball in a nutshell. It quite literally is over. The season is over. I know there are going to be people that say there are games. I know there are going to be people within the program that say, hey, maybe that's harsh. Is it? Is it harsh? Because I think what's harsh is that people spend hard-earned money to go to DFA and watch an Arizona State basketball team just go missing for the first half of the game. And then, when they feel like it, when they feel like trying, when they feel like playing basketball, then it is time. Like, that's just, it's half-ass. It's like Bobby Hurley said, it's half-ass casual. If you want to play casual basketball, I can send you the locations to about 15 LA Fitnesses around the valley. You can go play casual basketball there. But when you're at DFA and you are sporting a maroon and gold jersey for the Arizona State Sun Devils, there should be a level of pride to it. And right now, the Arizona State basketball team doesn't hold themselves to a standard, and you heard it. You heard the frustration in Bobby Hurley's voice post-game. You saw it on the sideline. At a certain point, he had to bring in a second unit, just pull his starters. Bobby Hurley Jr. was in the game with double-digit minutes left, and Arizona State was down. Like, you just needed somebody to come in and bring a level of urgency that wanted to be out there. That wanted to be out there. JJ in the chat, I disagree, Totri. I don't think they've given up. They're just not putting together a full 40 minutes. They haven't put together a full 40 minutes in a month. They haven't put together a full 40 minutes in a month. And for what? For what? You could play for yourselves. You could play for your coach. You could play for your team. You could play for your teammates. You could play for your program. What are they playing for right now? Genuinely. And I'd love to get the answers in the chat. What do you feel like Arizona State basketball is playing for right now? Not what you think they should be playing for, what they are playing for. Because let's be real. Washington is not a very good basketball team either. They just wanted it more. Hell, they might not have even wanted it more. They just gave you 100%. That's all it took. You saw down the stretch Arizona State make a comeback. JJ said it in the chat. If Arizona State would have come back and won that game, it would have been Arizona State's largest second-half comeback victory in program history. Instead, 2-point loss in overtime because the hole was just too big. It's a bummer, man. It's a bummer. That's what the program is. BC in the chat. Fake comeback versus Washington. Like, it hurts. It hurts. And it's ironic because there is a level of comparison that you can draw here. And we do it a lot in terms of talking about Arizona State football versus Arizona State basketball. But it's funny because you have a very similar opponent. You have the same opponent in the conversation, right? So let's talk about Arizona State football when they played Washington, a team that was fighting for a college football playoff spot, a team that was expected to kick the shit out of Arizona State. Kenny Dillingham's team was beaten up all season. The roster was decimated. Like, you were already assuming that it was going to be a steamroll game. And at least Arizona State football gave you a shot. They had Washington on the ropes, right? A team that was playing for their coach, a team that believed that they could get it done. There was a standard. And I go and I watch Arizona State basketball against Washington, and they're down by 25. The starters need to get pulled because there's a lack of effort. Embarrassing. That is the best way that I can sum it up. And if you didn't see the game, let's go ahead. Let's get to by the numbers so you guys can go ahead and actually see what transpired in Arizona State's 2-point loss to Washington. Of course, the final score, the only one that matters. Arizona State getting outdueled and outclassed by the Huskies. Final score, 84-82. The way the two teams shot from the floor, Arizona State shooting 38.6%. Washington, on the flip side of that coin, 42.9%. Arizona State did have the edge when it came to three-point land shooting, 37.5 to Washington's 26.7. Charity stripe numbers, Arizona State 19 of 28. Washington 16 of 26. Turnover numbers 13 to 11. Washington having the 13 on that. For me, I don't want to say the free throw numbers. It really is just the entirety of that graphic, because it shows me that if Arizona State would have put forth just a little bit more, man, if you would have just put forth a little bit more from the jump, then we're talking about Arizona State getting a much-needed win. We're talking about the Sun Devils getting a much-needed win at a time when it feels like the sky is falling for Arizona State fans. It really does. And last night, for Arizona State sports in general, it was just a bunch of head-scratchers. Baseball, softball, basketball. Man, if you're an Arizona State fan, you can't catch a break last night, man. You really couldn't. The only thing that you could sit and enjoy was the 4-point play that Washington State put on in Tucson. That's the only thing that you could sit there and you could be like, well, hey, that happened, right? And we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. But I do want to take a look at what's ahead for Arizona State. Like I said earlier, for me, it feels like the season's over. And not because there's a lack of games, but simply because it feels like the team has given up. I know JJ said that, hey, they haven't put together a full 40 minutes. Have we seen a full 40? Not just in the last month, like I said, but really all season? Can you point to a game where you're like, hey, Arizona State from start to finish put together one hell of a performance? I can't do it. I can't think of one. Because what happened prior to Arizona State's game the other night? You want to get into what happened against the Wildcats? Not really. They beat, Utah before that? Or Oregon State? They beat Oregon State. You want a gold star like they gave you when you were in kindergarten? Congratulations. You beat the worst of the worst. That's not what the bar should be at, man. That's just not what the bar should be at. JJ brings up USC. I would agree. That was the single time that you could point to this season that Arizona State outplayed their opponent. Guess where USC is in the Pac-12 standings? The floor. The bottom. It's unfortunate. It really is an unfortunate look for Arizona State. And I feel bad. I feel so bad for Sun Devil Nation because they deserve more. They deserve a team that is willing to go out and give them 100%. They really do. They really, really do. It's tough. It's a tough look for Arizona State, but it is what it is. It's going to be, look, I think if you want to transform Arizona State basketball, which is something that we've talked about, you're going to need some NIL money, right? You're going to need some massive donations. And hey, every penny helps, especially for those of you playing Arizona Lottery. Guys, if you don't play, you can't win Arizona Lottery. And guess what? The Arizona Lottery is introducing a unique new ticket and promotion called Arizona Adventure. There are 3 ways to play and win big. Play Arizona Adventure Lottery tickets featuring 3 iconic landscapes all across Arizona. These tickets have prizes up to $50,000. You can also check in at geolocated adventures at 10 destinations across the state from Flagstaff to Yuma. The Arizona Lottery is not just about playing games and winning prizes. It is also about giving back to the state and its communities. Just visit azadventure.com for more information on how you can take an adventure for a chance to win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes. And guess what? Once you win Arizona Lottery, you're going to need a place to put that money. And we don't trust anybody more than Desert Financial Credit Union. They are the official retail banking partner of Arizona State University. For more than 84 years, Desert Financial has been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union. They've been doing it for a long time. I'm 26 years old. They've been doing it for what? Three and a half of my lifetimes. It really is crazy to see the success and the trust that everybody has in Desert Financial. Look to Desert Financial for checking and saving accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. Now is the time to show your ASU team spirit. Open a free checking account online and get $200 plus your choice of 3 Arizona State University Visa debit cards. Just go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started. JJ in the chat, I'm really not trying to blindly support this team, LMAO. Like I said, I don't wish this on anyone. Yeah, no, it is absolutely tough, right? Like, again, you expect more. You want more from your basketball program, really from the university in general. And we've talked about it the last couple of days, right? What comes first, the fan support, the product on the court. I could tell you what, if DFA was sold out last night, wouldn't have made a difference. Would not have made a difference. All it would have meant was you would have had more ASU fans in the stands to see and witness the ass kicking, the first half ass kicking that Arizona State took. And that's not what you want. That's not what you want at all. Donald in the chat, where are the Bear Down fans today? Nerds are quiet today. I see. Yeah, it must be the Wildcat fans must be sleeping in after what happened in Tucson the other evening. Don't worry, Donald. We will absolutely get to that. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the Bobby board so we can see what is left on deck for Arizona State. Gosh, that's so many L's, Danielle. I'm looking at so many gray spots. That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Arizona State has lost 9 of their last 12 games. Are you kidding me?
That's not ideal.
No.
That's really not great.
That's bad. That is bad. Bad doesn't even do it justice. It's trash. It's garbage. And look, the next 2 games for Arizona State, my goodness, they might lose these next 2 by a combined 60 points. Because you've got Washington State. Washington State, one of the best teams in this conference with the Arizona Wildcats. Again, you saw what the Cougars did to the Wildcats last night. So you've got them on Saturday. Not going to be looking pretty. And then you got the Arizona Wildcats middle of next week. Oof. So then we're talking about losing what? Quick math, 11 of 14? Oof, dude. That's tough. And then you get SC, which SC is garbage. You should win that game. And then UCLA has been one of the hotter teams as of late in the conference. You might be looking at Arizona State winning one more game this season. There was a moment, I don't remember which game it came after, where I said I thought that Arizona State was going to win probably 6 games. 6 games throughout the rest of their schedule. And I had people in my comments saying, oh my gosh, that's not enough. They still get to play blank, blank, and blank. Well, guess what? Pretty sure they've only won 3 or 2 since then. So I was wrong. I was too generous because they're not beating Arizona, and I don't think they'll beat Washington State. We'll see what happens. Arizona State usually plays UCLA pretty tough. But at this point, can you bank on this team doing anything? And look, I'm not trying to be harsh, but that's the reality. That is the reality of where this team is at. And there needs to be a massive, massive moment in the offseason where this team and every single player and every single coach genuinely look themselves in the mirror and say, what was that? How do you get better? How do you erase what happened here in 2024 and get it right next season? How do you do it? It's tough. It's a tough thing, but I think that's exactly what needs to happen. Donald in the chat, I just want him to say he's resigning. Just get it over with. It's difficult, man. It is difficult, but hey, I'm not going to say it could be worse because it couldn't be, but I will tell you, guess what? The sky is falling in Tucson. The Arizona Wildcats, they fell thanks to a 4-point play at the tail end of their game against the Washington State Cougars. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why the sky is falling for the Arizona Wildcats. It's because we've seen this, right? It's like turning on the sequel to Shrek, and you're like, oh, I've seen that ogre before. Sorry, Tommy Lloyd. I have seen all of these players. I have seen the same outcome. I've seen and heard the same team over and over and over again. Number 1 seed in the conference. Me and Damon, before conference play started on the BetMGM Sportsbook app, you could get the Arizona Wildcats to win the regular season in the Pac-12 at plus money, plus 100. I entertained it. Shame on me, because I said that was free. You're telling me you're going to give me the Wildcats, the only ranked team to win this conference? It's a good team. Great coach, great players. That's all I've heard. Well, Washington State just made that really, really difficult with their 77-74 win over the Arizona Wildcats on Thursday. And now what? Again, you look at conference play where this team has started to struggle time and again. And we got Clint in the chat. Clint is an Oregon State fan, so he's unbiased, really, in this entire argument. Okay? So you look at Arizona in conference play. They've lost to Stanford by 18. Stanford, not a very good team. They lost to Washington State now twice. They got swept by Washington State. 73-70 the first go-round, and then obviously the one last night where they lost 77-74. They also lost to Oregon State. Oregon State, I'm sorry, Clint. They're not very good either. 83-80. So now what? Guess what? This team, the Arizona Wildcats, probably going to win out in conference. You're going to see them probably cut down the net or be in the Pac-12 championship game. That's all fine and well. You can hang your Pac-12 banner, but when you get to the NCAA tournament, you're throwing out the same team, you're throwing out the same coach, and you're throwing out the same damn mess and disappointment that you saw last season. You may not get dealt Princeton, but I don't have any faith that the Arizona Wildcats are going to be able to make a run in the NCAA tournament. Because for the same reason that we talk about Arizona State being an embarrassment, right? You can only see it to believe it. I've seen Arizona State basketball. I've seen what they are. They're a team that doesn't want to play basketball right now. They lose. You expect it now. So for the Arizona Wildcats, drive down the 10, head to McHale. What do you see? It's the same damn thing over and over again. A really good team. Sometimes they play down to their competition. And guess what? You're going to hit the NCAA tournament, and it's going to be a team that probably relives this program's mistakes over the last couple of seasons. That's why the sky is falling in Tucson. Get yourself an umbrella. Take shelter, okay? Because Arizona State, they're not going to be making the NCAA tournament. And that's all fine and well. Because when it comes late March and the Arizona Wildcats are playing, you're going to have every single Sun Devil fan waiting and watching for that moment to click that send button on Twitter. And I know Donald doesn't have a Twitter. He's in the chat. Donald's going to be locked and loaded, ready to go, okay? Last season, when the Arizona Wildcats lost to Princeton, and we had Shane and Sean in the office, and the viewing area that we have here at PHNX Studios was packed full of people. Saul was front and center watching the game, and you started to see it slip away. from the Arizona Wildcats to Princeton, a 15 seed. And me, Shane, and Sean, we all looked at each other. We're like, no way. It's going to happen. And so, respectfully, as us Sun Devil fans do, we decided to watch the remainder of the game from the back of the studios so that we didn't, interrupt Saul's viewing experience, something that he would remember forever, the Wildcats getting smushed by Princeton in Ivy League. In the moment that game was over, the three of us very calmly shook each other's hands, took the elevator down to the bottom of this office, and we cheered. I'm pretty sure we went on a walk to nowhere. We walked just around the Arizona Center and lost our minds because of that game. So, again, I'll tell you, Arizona fans, you can have your hope. You can have your dreams of doing something in the NCAA tournament. You've got more NIL money. Congratulations. You're spending it just to play a few more games this season. Appreciate you for playing. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. At least Arizona State fans can look themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? We know we're bad. At least that's what Arizona State fans can do. At the end of the day, Wildcat fans, they talk themselves into some sort of delusion year in and year out. So it really is a interesting cycle to watch everybody in Tucson kind of go through everything that they go through on a yearly basis. JJ in the chat, Totri, are you and the crew planning on going to the Pac-12 tournament? Yes, we are planning on a couple of us here at PHNX going to the Pac-12 tournament. I myself will not be going to the Pac-12 tournament. You can thank Drake for that. So I won't be going to the Pac-12 tournament this season, but it sounds like we should have Shane and company out there. So definitely be locked and loaded on all of the coverage once that starts, because look, there's nothing better than March Madness. We absolutely love it. We love talking about it. And it is exciting regardless of what's going on with Arizona State, Arizona. It is one of the more unique sporting events just ever, right? Like, is March Madness in the NCAA tournament the single greatest sporting tournament ever? Like, it's better than the NFL playoffs. It's better than the NBA playoffs. It's better than everything.
I think there's a case to be made for the World Cup.
Oh, yeah, the World Cup's pretty good.
But other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's elite. It really is elite. Like, I can't think of, and not to mention, it's here. It's here this year.
I completely forgot it's here this year.
Well, yeah, I think ASU fans early on in the season.
Yeah, I checked out of college basketball a while ago.
There were a lot of early on in the Arizona State season, I think you'd watch the broadcasts. And first off, you remember that first Arizona State game on Barstool?
Oh,
just how bad that was?
Untenable.
How bad the broadcast was?
Untenable.
And they ended up losing that game. But, like, I'm pretty sure there were multiple times where Arizona State games on the broadcaster were like, yeah, like, the Final Four is going to be in Phoenix this year. Like, can you imagine, like, Arizona State Bobby Hurley squad trying to go on the run? Look where we're at now, guys. Not even an NIT invitation on the way. It's tough.
Yeah, so, I checked out after the San Diego game.
That's valid. Before conference play even started, Danielle was like, I'm good.
After that post-game show where I had to talk you out of eating like a 3-week-old pie.
Oh,
that's when I was like, yeah, this season's over. We're not doing anything.
Season. I forgot about that pie. That was tough. I lost the ring that day. I lost a ring
because of the pie. Because Shane came on and made you throw it away.
Yeah, no, that's pretty tough. Pretty tough. Clinton in the chat, Sun Devils ball was so bad. Sam Hartman beard is gone. Yeah, the Sam Hartman beard gone for now. It is what it is. Thankfully, my Middle Eastern and Italian roots, like Bo said earlier, I could have the beard back by lunchtime if I really wanted it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I felt like the baby face needed to make just a little bit of a return. I missed my jaw for a second.
It's a good look.
Thank you.
It's a good look.
I appreciate that, Danielle. I appreciate that. Donald in the chat. Yeah, the Barstool broadcast was ass. Pretty much. And that's probably putting it nicely, to be honest with you guys. Again, do us a solid. Just a reminder, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate everybody. Look, whether you opt to watch the NCAA tournament, watch March Madness, I've got a way that everybody can enjoy it. Can not just enjoy college basketball, but can enjoy the NBA, NHL, and so much more. That's with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. They are the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. It sounds so easy. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat and combo projections and watch the winnings roll in. Had my first experience with Prize Picks just a couple weeks ago. They helped us out just to show us what it was all about. And it really is, for me, it is a lot of fun. I love the interface that they have on the Prize Picks app. And it really is so self-explanatory. You can click on the players and you can really go down and see their stats, not just obviously for what they've done recently, but pretty much for the all season. It really is a unique daily fantasy sports platform. So highly encourage everybody to go check it out. Choose there is the new thing that they've got with Prize Picks called Demon Time, where you can now win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. You could turn $10 into $1,000. How does that sound, Danielle? $10 to win $1,000.
I'll take that.
Exactly. Demons and Goblins are the newest and most exciting way to play a Prize Picks. Squares marked with red demons or green goblins get you different payouts, and you can now win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. Guys, go to prizepicks.com/PHNX and use code PHNX for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/PHNX and use that code PHNX. Daily fantasy sports made easy. Look, we love sharing that code PHNX, and we love sharing everything that we got going on here at PHNX, including our takeover events. Now, look, we talked about it. Arizona State, they've got the Arizona Wildcats next week, and PHNX is taking over the Arizona versus ASU basketball game. Come with us to DFA on the 28th at 7 p.m. Food, drinks, tickets, and a fun game between our 2 college teams, obviously Arizona State and Arizona. Get your tickets today. We're going to be pre-gaming at Illegal Pete's. And look, if you're an Arizona State fan, you might want to pre-game pretty heavily on that one, okay? You might want to be really getting into that. I'll be there. I know there's going to be several Wildcats there, so we got to stand in unison, okay? We can stand there together, and we can just point and laugh. Maybe not at what the outcome of Wednesday's game will be, but point and laugh in advance of what's going to be happening in late March for the Wildcats. That's what we're going to be doing over at Illegal Pete's, guys. Click the link in the show notes or visit gophnx.com under the events calendar tab for more info. Danielle, you going to be there? You going to be at Illegal Pete's with us pre-gaming?
You know I'm never going to turn down Illegal Pete's.
I love Illegal Pete's so damn much. Their food is so good. Their drinks are good. The vibes are always good. Like, it's just going to be a good time overall. Like, come for the vibes. You don't even got to come for the game. I mean it. Just come for the vibes of that one. JJ in the chat, Arizona State's winning that game. I appreciate, JJ, that you wake up with an enthusiasm for Arizona State basketball unknown to mankind. I think that you should be the one to lead pregame speeches and halftime speeches because I think this team would find a way. For JJB, the Arizona State Sun Devils would find a way to just give it all, to just give 100% of what they've got. But at the end of the day, JJ, you're not the coach, and I'm not the athletic director. But guess what? Arizona State doesn't have one of those right now. So it is what it is. It's all part of being a Sun Devil, right? It's great. It's beautiful. It's sunny outside. Not a cloud in sight, guys. Not a cloud in sight. My goodness. Arizona State basketball has made me delusional. Oh, my goodness. You know what time it is, Danielle? You know what time it is.
It is hot or not
it's
time.
Hot or not time.
I'm still laughing at the, I'm not the athletic director, but who is?
Yeah, nobody.
Who is? Nobody is. It's fine.
If I can't have that job, nobody can. Oh, my goodness. Who's hot this week, Danielle, in all of the office?
Oh, who is hot? I got to give it to the interns.
Oh, okay.
Kyle and Caroline are absolutely killing it, and they deserve their shout-outs.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Kyle and Caroline, you haven't seen them probably on camera. They put in work.
They are phenomenal.
They are. They have put in some serious work here at PHNX Studios and definitely appreciate everything that they do. Now, who is, the way you put it, who's ugly in the office?
Oh, man. Who is not? I think it's probably Petey. Steve Peters on the Coyote show. He's missing his friend, man. He's missing his friend, the Mullet Magician. He's down bad.
That's crazy.
Hasn't seen the Mullet Magician in
a minute.
I think it's like 33 days now.
Wow, it's been that long since the Yotes have won a game.
It's been a long time, man. It's been a rough stretch.
That's crazy that like PD has it. That the Coyotes are so bad. You could be Arizona State. Yeah, I got it. But it is crazy. It is crazy that the Coyotes haven't won, and you said that PD is ugly for that reason because the Coyotes haven't done it. Oh my gosh, that's tough. Guess what, Craig? We're doing hot or not, right? So every single week, Danielle gets to pick somebody in the office that's hot and somebody that's not. She said PD's ugly this week.
I said you should pick Eric because he ate PD's chips.
That's true.
And we will address that more in the PHNX.
PD's a thief, and he's not here to fight for himself. I know, it's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in, Craig. Can't trust nobody in these streets, man. Can't trust nobody in these streets. All right, Danielle, what is the first topic that we've got?
First topic. I don't know if you're an Avatar fan. Avatar: The Last Airbender,
like the OG, the Airbender.
Yeah. So the live action remake is released tonight.
Oh no,
or yesterday
in theaters?
No, it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And so just as a whole, live action remakes, hot or not?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go specifically with Avatar because I've seen people hating on it already,
and I've seen people like get really into it. What I've heard is it's better than the movie, but worse than the original cartoon.
They're never going to be able to.
Which is like it's the best cartoon ever and the worst movie ever. So it's going to be in there somewhere.
The middle ground is like from here to Maine. Like that's exactly what it is. It's tough. Live action remakes. Wow, that is a tough one.
So that like all the Disney ones, like
that's one of the tougher hot or not questions you've asked. To be completely honest with you, because I am somebody that loves like the original cartoons of things. So like. I understand why live action remakes are made for the purpose of like usually at the time it's been 10, 15 years. You're going for a new fan base, a new audience. There's so much money like in some of these things, like the Jungle Book live action remake. Like some of those ones, Lion King was phenomenal.
Ooh, see, I didn't like the Lion King.
You didn't like
remake.
Lion King?
No,
oh,
and that's I would probably say my favorite movie of all time is The Lion King. I didn't like The Lion King. I
want them to start like just making movies that should not be live action remakes, like The Incredibles. I think The Incredibles would be such a funny live action remake.
That would be wild.
What's another one? Like not iRobot, but Robots. Like if that was a live
I haven't thought about that movie in decades.
Nobody has. But like
with Robin Williams, it was great.
Oh my goodness, such a good movie. Wow, this is a tough one. I'm going to say not. I'm going to say not hot because I feel like the majority of live action remakes don't come close to how good the original cartoons and movies are. And it looks like it's split in the chat. Lion King from Clint's perspective left out 3 or so famous
Clint,
lines.
That is exactly what I'm saying. They left out the best line in the entire movie.
What did they?
Rafiki. Yes, the past can't hurt, but the way I see it, you could either run from it or learn from it. I
want to get
they
that
completely missed that.
That'd be a sick tattoo. Yeah, no, it's good. JJ in the chat, not hot. Donald says I'm not a cartoon type of person, so I got to go hot. That's fair. If you don't like cartoons, then I totally respect it.
I'm going to say hot.
Okay.
Just because I love Aladdin, and I
haven't seen that one.
That one's really good.
Okay.
It's polarizing. All of them are polarizing. But this might be a little bit of a hot take. I like the remake of The Little Mermaid better than the original.
I haven't seen that either.
I saw the remake of The Little Mermaid so many times in theaters.
I'm just not a big Little Mermaid person in general.
That's fair.
I don't know if that shocks you.
I don't see you going to a Little Mermaid movie, so like I get it.
Yeah. JJ in the chat, Iron Giant live action is going to be wild. Oh my goodness. What's topic number 2, Danielle?
All right, spring training starts today.
Yes.
How do you feel about spring training?
Ooh, spring training. I thought you were going to dive into those ugly ass uniforms.
Oh no, those are objectively not.
Yeah,
those are horrific.
Spring training. Wow, that's tough. I'm not a baseball guy. But so I like spring training more than I like the regular baseball season simply because of the vibes of spring training. You can go out, catch a game. Like nobody is that invested. Like the players aren't even that invested in the games. So you could go, the weather's usually nice, have a hot dog, have a beer, sit in the grass, and like just enjoy a good time with family and friends. So I will say spring training is hot. I I didn't expect to see myself get to that point, though. I really didn't.
I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah. What about you?
I hate spring training.
Wow.
I hate
But
spring
you're a
training.
baseball junkie.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing is I want the games to count.
Mm,
Like spring training is fun for like a week.
yeah.
And then you have to drive out to Surprise 3 times a week. And like the starters are playing 2 innings and then that's it. It's
Yeah.
not worth it. I hate it. I like get it over with. I want the games to count.
Get it over with.
I hate spring
When
training.
does, and I mean, this is my ignorance showing, when does the actual baseball season start?
Late March.
Late March. So you a little
Like
bit of time.
last couple days of March.
A little bit of time left. A little bit of time. Man, there's so much going on in March. Wow,
It's
you got,
wild.
I mean,
It's
you got March
wild.
Madness, you got baseball, you got NFL free agency, you got NBA stuff. Thank you, Craig Morgan. Craig in the corner saying some programs have March Madness. Yeah, Arizona State, not one of those programs. They're without an athletic director too, just in case you missed that part, Craig. I'm honestly here for Craig Morgan or Doug Tamaro to be the next athletic director at Arizona State. I'm just gonna throw that out there now. I think that needs to be a move that happens. Maybe they could
Selfishly, I
be
don't want to lose Craig.
co-athletic directors.
Man, Doug has put in the work. Give it to him.
Give it to him.
Just give it to him.
Let him
He
have it.
deserves it.
Let him have it. If Doug can't have it, nobody can. What's topic number 3?
All
Daniel?
right, last one. Waffles.
Dude, fuck you.
How do we feel about waffles?
So for those of you that don't know, I lost a fantasy league, not the work-related league. I came in second place in that one, so I was the first loser, but I was the last loser. I was the worst player in my college league, and we have a punishment. Last year, the loser had to do a Tough Mudder. This year, you have to do the Waffle House Challenge, where you have to sit at a Waffle House for 24 hours, and for every waffle that you eat, you can subtract an hour. I get to serve my punishment. Tomorrow on Saturday. I will be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, bright and early, and I haven't had a waffle in some time. I haven't. I'm going bold. I'm shooting for 17. I'm shooting for 17 waffles tomorrow. That'll get me out of there by like 3 o'clock if I start at 8. It's gonna be a day. Thankfully, our friends over at OG's Flavoring Fridays, I'm definitely going to be taking some OGs before I hit the Waffle House in the morning. I'll have some performance-enhancing drugs to help me get through the Waffle House Challenge. Waffles on their own, as it is right now, Friday, February 23rd, very hot. By the end of February 24th, waffles are going to be really unhot. They're going to be really cold, and I may never eat a waffle again, to be completely honest with you. Donald in the chat, waffles are super hot. Clint, waffles are hot. Donald again saying, looks like we'll be seeing Totri post videos from Waffle House. Yeah, definitely be gonna provide some Twitter and Discord updates for everything going on at my first Waffle House experience. Never
been to a
I've
Waffle
never been
House.
to a Waffle House. No, I've never been to a Waffle House. I've heard things. I'm just, I am preparing for the tummy ache. My tummy already in and of itself, like it could just be a random day of nothing, and my stomach is like, nah, we're gonna hurt today. We're gonna be rumbling for no good reason. So tomorrow, I imagine I am going to, I don't even want to think about it. It's making me sick already. It really is.
That's
what about
fair.
you,
That's
Danielle?
fair. I'm actually not a fan of waffles.
Well,
I don't really like waffles that much.
you and I will be in agreement tomorrow. We will not be
I like
on
pancakes.
the same page. Oh, Donald, that made my day, Donald. Donald says I'll make waffles with you too. And Clint with a great Shrek line from Donkey. And in the morning, I'm making waffles. I love it. Absolutely love it, guys. That is going to do it for Hot or Not. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be eating a whole hell of a lot of waffles on Saturday, but I am looking forward to Monday because it's going to be Margarita Monday. And the best thing that goes with a margarita is everything at Some Burros. Guys, they're a family-owned and operated restaurant, and they were voted Arizona's most loved Mexican restaurant. They have easy party platters to feed a crowd, all new taco bar to impress your amigos, and with margaritas to go, you will be the, quote, guac star of the season. You can try their popular Fiesta platter loaded with mouth-watering red and green chili beef mini chimneys, homemade taquitos, chips, fresh guac. They have it all, including their famous hot sauce. Let Some Burros cater your next meal, big or small. Order online or find one near you by visiting someburros.com. I'll tell you what, I have quit energy drinks, right? It's something that we have we've talked about on the show, me and Eric, over the last couple of days. I'm on, I think, like day 5 or day 6 now without an energy drink. It really is killing me, but I'll tell you what, it hasn't stopped me from not going to Circle K, because I'm at Circle K still twice a day to get snacks. Love the Gatorade Zeros that they have. And when they've got deals like they do at Circle K, you just have to go. You have to go. You have to sign up for Inner Circle, their new free membership program, where they're helping you save money every single day. Save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups, and then every day after that, save 3 cents per gallon every day. Not to mention, get every 6th free on a selection of Circle K products, pizza, coffee, ice cold fountain drinks, and more. I'll tell you what, Circle K snacks are so damn good that they have PHNX's office divided. There is going to be a Coyote show is going to be in court today, okay? Because some Circle K snacks, they were breached, okay? There was a level of trust that was broken in PHNX studios, and it's not going to stand. It's not going to stand, okay? It's something. Craig's coming in.
Sitting on the table over here. It's not my donut. So just because it's on a community table, that doesn't mean I can eat it. That's all I have to say.
Agreed. Thank you, Craig. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Oh, my goodness. Clint in the chat, 4 Pac-12 basketball games left, then adios. Yeah, the last Pac-12 basketball season for Arizona State is definitely going to be one to forget. Sucks that that's going to be the last one that everybody is going to have in their back of their mind. It really is a tough thing. JJ in the chat, an Arizona State or Oregon State Pac-12 tourney win would only be right. Dude, if Arizona State or Oregon State, I'm going to put this out there right now, okay? If Arizona State or Oregon State win the Pac-12 tournament, I will go back and do the Waffle House Challenge again, okay? That's how confident I am that neither one of those programs is going to sniff the Pac-12 championship game. It's not going to happen. But hey, dreamers can dream, right? That's going to do it for today's PHNX Sun Devils show, guys. We appreciate everybody hopping in. Hit that like button one more time. Hit that subscribe button and do us one more solid. Give us a follow on social at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow DJ Danielle at Abraca Danielle across social media, guys. Everybody have a great weekend. Support your local Waffle House like I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Go Devils, and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.